Social media, like drugs, has gotten us addicted. It's hard to find anyone who's not afflicted. Even children now carry a phone in their hands, counting how many likes, counting how many friends. Their algorithm needs to be exposed, pulled apart, and finally disposed.
Before this video starts, we dive really deep and I start feeling like a Vice News reporter. I just want to address some of the comments from last week. Hi everybody, my name is Ken Heckel and welcome to this week's episode of If Kent Can. This week we're buying Instagram handles. A few years ago I accidentally joined this dark web of social media. In fairness, I don't actually know what to call it there, but the dark web of social media feels right. Genuinely, I had no idea how vast, how many people are involved, and how many things could be done inside this micro economy. Also, filming this episode, I kind of felt like a reporter from Vice News, so Vice, if you like this, please call me. I'd love to make more. So I thought I would do a deep dive on everything I've learned in the dark web of social media. Here we go. Money flow. People steal. Trust nobody and everybody at the same time. Make friends and try your best to keep them. Don't lose your cool. And lastly, don't forget any of the rules. We'll go over them soon. I've been able to make some pretty incredible things happen with social media. From growing Instagram accounts to heights I never ever thought I could, to buying and selling some of the most valuable Instagram usernames in the entire platform. You can buy verification on any platform that you want. You can build bots. You can get scammed. You can buy and sell pretty much any username you've ever wanted. You can find someone who can hack anything you've ever wanted. And lastly, meeting with Facebook and Instagram and telling them what I did. To be very clear though, you guys are sure that you're okay with this. They know all of this. So as we always do on If Kent Can, let's start all the way at the beginning. 2 years ago, I was asked to be in a movie by my friends Aaron and Ian. The movie was called Internet Kids, and this was one of the coolest experiences of my entire life. The movie starred myself and another YouTuber, Elena Fender. She's incredible. And they followed us around VidCon. Basically just our experience around the event. And then we got asked to premiere it at Buffer Festival. My all-time dream. If you're not familiar with what Buffer Festival is, it's essentially the Oscars of YouTube. Kind of the film festival, the Sundance of YouTube, all at the same time, happening at once. What I really like about it is it's all about the content and not the people. So it's not about these crazy meetups, it's about the videos that these people actually make. So at least for me, it was always my dream to be flown out to a YouTube event. I think all my other small YouTube creators out there have definitely experienced that wish. And this was actually my dream come true. This was everything I've ever wanted. And then I got an email. It was Facebook. The Facebook emailed me. Kent. This guy. So after my minor freak out, we emailed back and forth. We ended up working into kind of a deal, not like a brand deal, just a general friend-to-friend deal, where they said, hey Kent, we're launching a new live streaming feature on Facebook. Would you be willing to use it? And I said, sure. So it ended with, I'm gonna live stream on the red carpet and backstage at Buffer Festival, and they would let me do that. Looking back, I wish I'd asked for more, but whatever. And for reference, this is when Facebook was just launching live streaming, so I'm pretty sure that the feature I would have had was before anyone else had it, actually. So, the deal was they had to verify my Facebook page so that the live streaming feature could be unlocked. And I was like, I got 600 followers. This is the best day of my life. So I did it. I did those 2 live streams. So the event ended, and as I was heading home, I made sure to do the one thing my mother always taught me to do. Follow up. And as I did that, a conversation just kind of started to flow between myself and Facebook. And then randomly one day, I was added to this secret Facebook group. Actually, it's called Video Creators on Facebook. And this group had some of the absolute craziest and largest creators on the entire internet in it. I don't know how I got added to this. This Facebook group is where things really started to get interesting. Facebook started to update us about all the new features that were coming out, like 3 to 4 days before they would update anyone else. And some of the people in the group actually started to get those updates on their Facebook account or their Instagram account or wherever the new features were, but not mine. And I had to know why. So after I did some digging on this group, I realized that everyone else in this Facebook group was, verified on all their social media. That was just kind of the type of people that were in this group. Essentially, Facebook and Instagram already had the people they wanted to test all the new features on in one group where they could just click add to verified accounts and it would only send out a certain feature to a certain amount of people. That was easy. So I had to figure out a way to get into this. And in comes swipe up. If you're not familiar with what swipe up is, it's essentially that little arrow that pops up at the bottom of the screen, where on Instagram you can just swipe up and it'll take you to some sort of link. I normally use it for my YouTube videos. And so frantically I ran to my Instagram and was just refreshing all day, waiting for them to add it. So I decided to just like man up or, well, no, like woman up or just human up. I just decided to human up and ask for it. And 24 hours after I sent that email, there it was. And there was live. And there was every feature I'd been wanting all unlocked on my Instagram. As Kent's mind does, it immediately started racing with all of the things I could potentially do with this. What else could they get me? What do I have to do to keep this up? How the hell did I end up here? What are snails even trying to do? Moving into Christmas break, this is pretty much the only thing I can think about. I was emailing back and forth with my contact just about every day. By the way, let's go ahead and give him a name. How about Mr. A? Mr. A seems like a good name. So Mr. A and I were emailing back and forth every day just about whatever we wanted to. It was like we almost became friends. We would talk about weekend plans and random stuff going on. He would update me about what Facebook was doing. I would update him about what I was doing. It was cool. But then one day I had a conversation that changed a lot. One night I got a random DM from this guy with the username @Babes. And just before we move on, I thought about blurring out all the usernames and all the names of the people that I've worked with in the past, but I asked most of them, and some of them I haven't asked, but it's a social media profile. So essentially, I just want to tell you about all these people because it'd be way cooler if I told this entire story and you were actually able to go and DM these people. Theoretically, you don't have to do this, but to just fact check me. Like, this all happened and you can go talk to these people that it did. To be clear though, Babes and I aren't on great terms. He did some stuff that we're not happy about. He told me about OG usernames. He told me about all of these like Instagram hustler people that all do this. And most importantly, he told me about Telegram. Telegram is kind of where everything goes down. We'll get to those in a moment. For now, the most important thing he taught me about though, which was inactive usernames. He said he knew a bunch of ways to get them, but they were super, super, super hard. Some of them even would take like months and months to do this. And he actually only knew a few people that had been successful with it, so it wasn't really worth it. But this got me thinking. Instead of going these crazy routes that he was going, like trying to file a trademark and trying to take legal ramifications on some of these usernames, which was crazy, I thought, why don't I just email my contact? But this became immediately something I was fascinated by, and I had to know everything. And what's cool here is I wasn't one of those people that was one of these like Instagram dons. I was just like a content creator. I was just daily vlogging at the time. So everything he was telling me was genuinely going to help my personal brand. But remember how I had that idea to email Mr. A? Well, I did. And this was a couple weeks after I'd had any conversations with anyone. I'd kind of stepped away and been like, well, this is too much. But I emailed Mr. A and said, hey, Mr. A and I had a bunch of rapport built up at this point. So what he emailed me back blew my mind. Sure, Kent. What usernames are you interested in? Oh my God. Hey, Mr. A. So I was putzing around and saw that @photo is available. The account hasn't been used in 4 years, and I've been running a side page @KentHeckel1 for a while now, and would love to swap for that name if possible. By the way, right before I sent that email, I literally went on Instagram, created a new account @KentHeckel1, posted 30 photos from just me running around my house just taking pictures of stuff so that it looked like a full account. And then I clicked send. 24 hours went by and nothing happened. But then I woke up in the middle of the night the next night and my phone was buzzing non-stop. I had about 100 new follower notifications, 50 plus comment notifications, and just hundreds of like notifications. I had no idea where this was coming from. So I opened up my phone and I swear to God, a light from the ceiling came directly down and shone on my phone. And Instagram said, hey @photo, welcome back to Instagram. Dead. This is the part of the movie where things really start to speed up and go really, really well for me. But as we know, movies go, this will end, but just enjoy it for now. So I started emailing Mr. A like once a week asking for new usernames, and he pretty much always said yes. Sometimes even 5 or 6 usernames at a time. @photo, @hiphop, @kittens, @streetwear, @laces, @pets, @feminist, @houses, @interiors, and oh, so many more. I actually had to get a new phone just so I could fit all of these usernames in a place where I could actually open them. So here's how this would go. I would sit around on my couch late at night and just look through my phone trying to find new usernames. Anything that had been inactive for 2+ years. I would then create a copy account for one of the usernames I had. So for example, I would create @hiphop679. I would post anywhere from 20 to 30 times on that account, batch all the accounts I wanted to send together into one email, send it off, and 24 to 48 hours later, they would all be switched and we would repeat. And I actually started to get my friends in on this too. Jamie, Jason, Meg, Kai, JP, Chase, the whole gang was there. And soon word started to spread throughout the community that there was some kid who could just get any username he wanted and no one knew who he was. And as awesome as this was, it was just getting usernames like every week. We were just turning them over, running through these, growing the accounts, selling the usernames, buying more, all kinds of stuff. And then it all stopped because I got this one email from Mr. A saying, "Hey Kent, I regret to inform you, but I am leaving Facebook." I had to have known that this wouldn't last long, but as an entrepreneur, I knew the only thing I could do was innovate. So we sold most of them off pretty fast, and then we just started to focus on growing the usernames. So this was about the time I moved over to Telegram, and Telegram is a really integral part of this community because it's essentially where all the communicating goes down. But to be clear, this is where really sketchy stuff goes down, and so I no longer recommend that you do these things. I am just going to do them, and if you happen to follow in my footsteps, that's not my fault. So let's jump here into Telegram. Boop. That's a conversation. So we can just scroll through all these groups, and as you can see, on some of these, I have 100,000 missed messages. Things get kind of crazy in here. Well, let's just pick one of these groups. Honestly, Black Market's my favorite, just because it's kind of the easiest. Start at the bottom, most recent stuff. You can buy followers, you can buy likes, you can buy views, you can buy comments, you can buy a bot to do followers, you can buy a bot to do likes, you can buy a bot to get views, you buy a bot to auto do comments. You can buy Instagram hackers, you can buy Twitter hackers, you can buy verification on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Even sometimes LinkedIn I've seen. You can buy accounts on every platform, you can buy a bunch of YouTube stuff, which is kind of scary. And lastly, you can join hundreds of networks that all are full of all of this same stuff. You can buy online classes. I think there's a lot of people that just sell everything. This guy has 117 million follower network, meaning he owns enough accounts to accumulate 117 million followers. It's just a normal dude, right? Likes, you can buy followers, you can buy views, you can buy comments, you can buy story views, you can buy subscribers, you can buy tweet likes, you can buy anything you want. This literally has everything. Picture this as the dark web of social media. It goes on forever because no one really knows how all of these things are going on, but there's always someone, you can always pay someone, and they can always get it done. Fast forward to about a month ago, and I was in the market to buy a meme page. I have this kind of alter ego with my Instagram self called Keft. It's just the easiest way to misspell my name. And I wanted to get an Instagram account for that page. And obviously, since I'm Kent and I'm really extra, it had to be a one-word username. I'd prefer it to be something kind of funny, something kind of very recognizable, something that's like, that is definitely a meme page. Recording. So I feel really weird saying this, but I've got @daddy on the line here. Looks like I'm going to be buying the username back through all these messages. That was where he showed us all his messages. I showed him the series. Gonna go to his vouches there. And I highly recommend, like, if you end up working with someone like this, DMing a bunch of their vouchers. That always helps. All right, so I'm saying, yes, sounds good. I'll send Bitcoin, then once received, we'll swap info here. I also checked earlier, he did DM me from the account, which is always important. Yo. Okay, I'm gonna do 0.0317. That's how much I'm gonna send. All right, here we go. For science. Withdrawal. This is probably gonna take like 10 minutes. Buying usernames is always so scary. I always feel bad as a seller, at least as like, I obviously think of myself as a trusted seller because whenever I would do this, I would always go through with it. I always feel really bad as a seller because I know people are nervous on the other end, and I'm always hoping that they're not gonna scam me. So I, again, am not recommending that you do this. I'm showing you how someone would do this. I think it's so funny that the guy that like I'm actually going through all of this with his username is @daddy. Like, that's just so funny to me. I would like to say that I trust this guy, considering all the people he's worked with, considering he's the guy that runs scammers, the people that fight against these scammers. Me and the homie Prince are just sitting here waiting. Okay, what do I send back? Should I send him some memes? Okay. Oh my God. We did it. If the password is just password, I'm gonna be very disappointed. That's some high-level security right there. Wait, that, oh! Here we go. Password, paste. Here we go, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen. That didn't work. Maybe there was a space at the end? Nope, that didn't work. Okay, hold on. No. Yo, heart is a little bit high key pounding right now. Okay, so we delete that. Okay. Yeah, I did it. Oh my God, I did it. Pleasure doing the biz. Great moves. Keep it up. Proud of you. All right, let's go scope out our new account. So there you go. That's pretty much the entire story of my life in the Instagram community, buying an Instagram, buying a Twitter, buying whatever you kind of need in this world. It's really scary and I want you guys to be very careful, but you can pretty much do anything you want. And that's kind of what I want to expose here. What I really wanted to show was that as much as you think social media is really this like game that you play, there are people that are doing things that you probably don't know about and don't like. And this is that world. I am showing you the black market of social media. So please don't hate me, hate the game. I'm just telling you how I did these things. So there you go. This is kind of my expose. And I can honestly say I'm genuinely happy with how this whole thing turned out. There was one more person though I wanted to talk to before this was over, and let me just tell you, this interview was a hard one to swing. This is someone I've looked up to in the Instagram world for a long time, and I think a lot of people are really familiar with. But I knew that there was something more. I knew he'd been in it for a long time. I knew that this person has a lot of insight. So I wanted to make sure I was able to talk to him before this video was over, because there's just so much someone like him can bring.
Yeah.
Yo, Elliot, what's up, my man?
What's up? Give me the phone. What's going on?
All right, so tell me the story of how @dunk came to be. Like, where'd you get the username, if you're willing to talk about it, and like, what's that story?
Yeah, I mean, I was early. I was on Instagram, like I said, in 2011. I was just rolling with it. It was available, and I snagged it.
You just grabbed it.
Yeah.
Wow. Was it kind of the Wild West then, where like a lot of people trying to grab usernames, or was this just like a new thing?
The Wild West, bro.
Any, like, do you see this industry, this Instagram industry, or whether the side you're on or whether the side that I'm kind of pursuing here, do you see much progression? Like, do you see it going anywhere? Or
There's that community that you're talking about. Then there's also the community of people buying and selling shout-outs and Instagram ads and whatnot, which is $100 million, if not billion-dollar industry that Instagram aren't getting any cut from.
Right.
However, I do think the community that you're talking about, which is kind of a dark community,
The dark
I
community,
think
right.
that is something that's on the downfall. But it is an industry that's been going on for years and probably be for a while, but it's going down real soon.
For sure. So someone has been through my entire video of me showing everything about the dark side of social media. Is like, what's a really actionable piece of advice that you could give someone like
someone who actually grow on social?
Yeah.
If you do this to become popular and like show your friends you have followers, it's just not gonna work. It might work, you might get 50K, you might get 100K, but like in the end of the day, it's not gonna work. For example, for me, it was video editing. That's why I started Dunk. Every time I was doing videos, I'd literally black out. I mean, you know this. I'd like wake up out of my blackout state 3 or 4 hours later. I hadn't eaten, like I didn't want to eat. I just wanted to edit videos.
Dude,
and I love basketball. So that's what I did, and that's how I separated myself, and that's how I started creating content. The way you start and grow, there's 2 parts to it. It's you gotta have good content and you gotta have good distribution. That's literally it. Literally it.
Fab. Thank you so much, Elliot.
All right, bro. Blackout while editing this video.
I will. Have a good one,
All right.
dude. Thank you so
Peace.
much. Bye.
Bye.
So what's so cool to me about what Elliot said is he's kind of seen, I don't want to say a fair amount of success, but he's definitely toward the top of this industry. And what he just affirmed was that good content and hard work is what will get you there. You know, social media, we look at it as a way of like, oh, we could cheat it, we could beat it, we can do whatever. You kind of can, but you also kind of can't. But really, the people that come out on top and genuinely build something out of it for the future, those are the people that put in the hard work in the beginning. And so for me, this phone call was not just like a cool interview, but really like a huge affirmation that I just need to focus on what I make. Make good things and you will reap the benefits. I made daily vlogs for 3 years and I learned the hard way about good content. I'd be intrigued to know how many people have like paid their way to the top compared to how many people have worked for it. Because it seems to me the genuine people making it to the top that have good content, that are people that I believe in, someone like Elliot said, Roy Purdy, who has literally popped up in the last year to the top of the charts. Incredible. Someone like that, someone who makes good content. What is the difference between someone else who just posts photos and buys likes? Obviously, there's a tangible value to the brand because we know it, but say a brand doesn't know that half these followers are fake and half these followers are real, who would they go with? So it makes me nervous that at the end of the day, there's no really differentiating creators other than by good content. And one thing I've really been preaching and one thing I really see happening is 2018 is the year of good content. The people who make good videos, the people who make good photos, they will make it to the top. I hope to be one of them, and I hope that my viewers, that you hope to be one of them as well. I hope you learned a little bit more today about the Instagram and Twitter worlds that you've never heard about. And again, Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, I'm really sorry. If you have to punish me for this, well, I understand. I accept everything that happens. I know what I was doing was not right, but I wanted to do it because I wanted everyone to know that this world exists. If you have any other ideas for things you want me to try out, go ahead and let me know below or over on Twitter at Kentersting. We have a really wonderful community on both those platforms. I'd love for you to be a part of it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, and I guess there is one more thing you can do. Follow my meme page. Hi everybody, my name is Ken Heckel and I want you to follow me on Instagram. @disgusting. And don't forget to finish that hard, follow your dreams, and we'll see you in a video next Wednesday. Bye!
Yeah, I said you ain't gotta live. My bad, I know this ain't usually your thing, but don't worry about it, girl, just be yourself. And I swear I ain't gon' say a thing.